anatomy. Chop my big chest, where the best is a philosophy. Drinking at lunch brings verbal skills like a sucker punch. Welcome to CMB. Yeah, yeah, CMB. Yeah, yeah, CMB. Yeah, yeah, CMB. Yeah, yeah,
It's not exciting. I've got my medical checkup
I've got mine
tomorrow.
coming up. Every year they call me obese.
Do they?
Every year. They say you have metabolic syndrome and you are fat.
Oh, right. It's a nice little full stop on that.
I mean, it's because they do your height and weight, and I am very heavy for my height, and I am like I have fat. I'm not saying I'm Olympic swimmer body, but I'm not fat. It hurts my feelings every year. Every year.
Oh, you should. Honestly, I don't know what you can do about that. Can you hit them when they say?
Oh no, you're very close. So there was one year, there was this old doctor. He was like in his 70s or 80s, and he was just like this little shriveled man. And he looked at the chart and said, "You're fat." And I was looking at him going like, "I could crush you with one hand right now. Don't push the limits here, sir."
Exactly. He was talking to a fighting master.
Well, he was talking to a piece of paper was the problem. He wasn't looking at the Adonis before him.
Yeah. Did you whip it out and say,
no,
that's
Adonis
all here, baby?
Adonis was not very impressive, if we're being honest. All the statues have little tiny peepees.
I heard that. I heard off the internet that in ancient Rome, during the time where they were making all these statues and whatnot, that a small penis was a sign of high intelligence.
Yeah, because you didn't have those basic urges ruling your life.
Yeah, like some caveman. Oh, I've got to breed with my huge, enormous penis.
With my giant dong, my hog.
Oh, you lie down, I bang. like big caveman-y stuff. So if you do have a little tiny penis, then you might be very clever.
I am a grower, not a shower. So maybe I have both. And then I do take ice baths quite regularly. So when I take an ice bath, it is minuscule.
Oh, yeah. Ladybug. Yeah.
Actually, it makes sense because at that moment when I'm in the ice bath. No.
When you were maneuvering, I thought you were literally going to stand up. And actually, let me show you.
Let me show you what I'm talking about.
All right, now we're talking.
No, wait, we're going to have to. That's a Patreon only episode. We're going to have to get paid a lot more before that happens.
Absolutely.
Tommy, who we talked to before, has on multiple occasions tried to get me to show him my penis, and but we took a bath together. We went to a hot spring together, so he's actually seen it. So I guess it's not that exciting anymore.
I do think that the onsen, it's a weird one. I had a first date with somebody at an onsen, which I thought, what a wild choice to make for a first date. But actually, being naked in the hot spring is completely different to just being naked.
It's non-sexual.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like I'm naked. It just feels like a uniform. The uniform here is no clothes.
Yeah.
So that's what we're wearing. So I didn't feel naked going in there, and I didn't feel like anyone else was. Obviously, people are naked, and you can see everything, whatever. But you're not looking. You're not concentrating
everything.
on that.
I can see everything.
Literally
everything.
Yeah, there was a lot of intelligent people in that onsen.
But so when I'm taking an ice bath, my point is my penis is incredibly small because it's basically retreated into my body. But at that point, I have zero sexual thoughts, and I would be sort of hitting peak mental acuity. Whereas in other instances where we're growing and not showing, I would be having the more base thoughts. I would not be having my philosophical thoughts.
Oh, so there's probably some truth in it.
Maybe it works, yeah.
How hard are you right now?
I'm pretty tired, so there's not much going on. Okay. Not much going on at all, to be honest. I don't even have a chubby.
Fair enough. Well, about some riveting conversation then, which is the point.
Intellectual chubbies are coming.
Can I say though, the word chub for a little bit activated. I think that's horrible. I hate that word.
Really? I think it's really
Yeah.
cute because it's like the thing is what I'm about to say is like it's like a baby's arm. It's chubby and cute, and then I suddenly felt like, well, that's wrong. You don't want to connect babies and half.
No, but I've heard
Well,
that
what would
in
you say then?
sitcoms.
Half-mast? Where it?
No, I don't know what I'd say. I'd say I really don't know. I'm searching through my regular vocab, and I don't know what I say for that situation. I definitely don't say half chub because I've heard that, and though it makes me laugh, I can't. I also can't stand it.
I think I would only. Yeah, you can only say that if you're joking though. You can't say anything with chub in it and be serious. You can't be taken seriously. Like if you're at the United Nations giving an address and you use the word chub in any context, it's not. No one's taking you seriously anymore.
No.
It's just one of those words.
It is. It just doesn't sound serious, does it?
I had an article. Let me see if I can pull it up really quickly because I think I saved it. And it's names British people have for their penises.
Oh yeah,
This has become a very penis-focused podcast.
We didn't waste any time.
Yeah, I don't. No, I meant like in general. Like we just go straight there, which is not a bad thing. Just so people know what they're getting.
But is that what people want? Should we change that?
I will. I mean, we have to do it for a while and see.
Okay.
And then if people want more, we can certainly give more.
But we have been doing it for a while. It's been every single time.
I guess I can't help it. I can't help it.
Mm.
Where is it? These are the most common nicknames British men have for their peni.
Okay.
So you're a British man.
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname for your member of parliament?
I call mine Peter.
Oh,
I'm joking.
but like that is not an unusual thing. And so having the name Peter, that came up multiple times when I was a little kid.
Actually, Peter is close to penis. So close. Your name is like next door to the word penis. So
I am penis adjacent at all times.
It's yeah. So I think any name that could be chosen, I think penis is a good one. But there's a few that I can rattle off. There's obviously knob, cock, tallywhacker, pecker.
Tallywhacker.
There's the picturesque ones like stick and two berries and whatnot.
No, these are like if you were going to refer to your own penis, what would you say? Okay, let me give you the intro. The habit, so this is giving a name to your own penis, was most common in the Northwest, where 86% of men said they had one. In Lower Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales, the number hovered around 72 to 73%. And they all had sort of regional variations. So where, I don't want to give away your too much information, but are you north? So I don't know. Midlands, okay.
Yeah, right in the center of England.
Okay, so you're the everyman of the UK.
I think the most common one is dick.
No, these are affectionate names.
Oh, sorry. Okay, right.
No, so this would be like okay. Okay, because I would be in the group that does not have a nickname for their penis. I call it penis. Whenever I don't actually talk to it very often, so I don't really need a name. Okay. As for what they're actually calling it, the list runs from self-deprecating to deeply aspirational. John Thomas topped the rankings.
John Thomas?
He has the most common nickname for a penis, which is also very common slang. I've actually heard John Thomas before. John Thomas.
I know I've heard this as a term for your penis, but I've never heard this in conversation ever.
No, neither have I. And that makes me think that like they're saying it's like 70, 80%. I actually believe that's not true.
I would guess that an older guy might call it a John Thomas. Maybe a grandfather.
They didn't give an age range. That actually would make a big difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Which I actually quite like. I've never heard that before, Moby Dick.
No.
I think that's the thing. The ones that are good, I've never heard before. I've never, because I've never heard anyone really talk about their penis and use a name. So
No,
I need some context for this. Okay, some others got creative. Circumference, not bad. Widgy McWidgeface. Midgy McWidgeface is not very good. Circumference I quite like because it also
that's the best one.
it's got dual meaning too, so I quite enjoy that.
It does.
And then others went full military hierarchy. The general. Oh, sorry, I hit a button. The general, the captain, the boss, the prince, the champ. And then there's also the rocket, the wand, Rodzilla, which I enjoy that one.
That's my favorite so far.
Big Ben and Little Man.
Okay. The only one I can say is feasible for me is not for me personally. Well, maybe for me personally. Don't stop talking, Jordan. Is Little Man, because I've heard if your name is Tom, you might say, oh, Little Tom or Mini Tom. I might say Little Jordan. I've heard that being used in conversation, but rarely. And the others I've never heard. So
I've never heard any of these.
This list should be debunked because I can tell you my experience, it's not true.
It's the number, it's the percentage of people who have a name for their penis seems very high. And then these names, I've never heard any of them.
No.
Really. So
I can tell you, in the UK, most people are just calling it their dick. I think that's probably the most common one. If you're talking to your friends, you say, "Oh, fuck, my dick's hurting." I don't know what context that would be in, but you'd say that.
Yeah. So if you gave it a really powerful name like Rocket, Big Ben, the Terminator, or something like that, you're really speaking to the potency that you feel about yourself and the prowess in bed, and it gives the capacity that you give to your partner. It's quite egocentric. Yeah, I don't believe any of that. I'm sorry.
No, that's bull. That's a bad. The person who wrote that doesn't know anything about penis nicknames in England.
Let me see. It's by Ashley Fike or Fikey.
Okay, let's dox her.
Yeah.
Or him.
No, Ashley can suck my circumference.
Yeah.
So last time we were talking,
yes,
I brought up the Great Emu War of 1932. If you have any questions, it's a very short story, so it's not too bad. But do you have any questions before we begin? Before I start giving you the facts?
Okay. One question. I feel like I'm the only person in any group I'm in. I'm the only person who really, really likes and enjoys emus as just a nice, beautiful animal. It's an underrated animal, I think.
I think emus are underrated. I agree with that absolutely. Yeah.
The best thing about them is when they're running, then now they're not as fast as ostriches, of course, but when they're running, they pick up some speed, and when they change directions, they can't change so sharply. They kind of run in a left-leaning or right-leaning arc because they're running at speed, but their body moves first, and then their neck follows, and then their head is the last thing to move. So it looks like that. So it looks really, really charming. And so I feel if an emu was trying to start a war with me and it was running towards me, I'd be stunned by the cuteness of its swerves as it ran to kill me.
Well, that might be part of the issue because apparently they were very hard to shoot. And it might be because of this, like you're aiming at the head, then the head just snaps and does this like very sexy, I can't, I missed. Right.
Yeah.
So this was 1932 in Australia. There was a severe drought. So that was the big problem. So the main issue was the emu, where they normally would get food, could not get any food. So they started invading farmland. And so that's where this conflict arises from, because the emu are just trying to feed themselves. They're just trying to eat. About 20,000 emus came out of the interior to farmland in Western Australia.
That's a lot of emus, mate.
They ate mostly wheat. Now, this was during the Depression, so basically these farmers weren't making any money anyways. So the fact that they're having their crops destroyed by emus was a big problem. So they called the government.
Help us out, mate.
Farmers petitioned the Ministry of Defense for help. So they didn't just like call the cops. They were like, there are so many emus. There's 20,000 emus eating our farmland. We need the government to step in. So that was their first petition. The minister deployed men under Major GPW Meredith and the Royal Australian Artillery. So let's say you're in the situation. You've been petitioned by farmers. You're a minister in the Australian government.
Help us out, mate.
I actually have we have an Australian friend who is going to be doing some lines for me that I'm going to be dropping in.
Okay.
So the lines I'm going to have is like, that's a lot of emus. I can't do an Australian.
That was pretty good, I thought, in my opinion.
Maybe last month I watched a movie called Seven Snipers, and I didn't know it was an Australian movie.
7 snipers.
Seven snipers. That's a lot of snipers.
It's
Seven.
6 7, 6 7, mate. 6 7 snipers.
That's a lot of snipers. That's the line I want to get. I'm practicing that one. That's a lot of snipers, mate.
And snipers would be another good nickname for it if you wanted to. Yeah, the sniper.
Yes. So the farmers petition the minister. Also, what would you send? So you're sort of in charge of the military. You can tell the military to do stuff, and they'll take you seriously. You found out there's you don't know how many emus. There's a lot of emus destroying farmland. What are you sending to the farmers to help?
Without knowing the situation, if literally hundreds of farmers were coming at me to complain, maybe, I don't know much about the military, maybe I'd send 20 people with a as humane a gun as there was at that time. Something that could
humane gun does not go together for me. The most humane gun. So could you now explain to me what you believe is the most humane gun that you know of?
Okay. Well, no guns, like you say, no guns are humane. However, I would say a gun whose bullets will enter a body cleanly and swiftly and maybe make an instant kill. I suppose that depends on more of where it enters the body, doesn't it? But that opposed to those shells that splinter inside the body to cause as much damage as possible. I think does shotguns do that?
Shotguns shoot a bunch of pellets. I only know video game guns. So
me too.
I know that shotguns shoot. They spray, but you can get them like more focused or more broad. But that you want one that hits the body and explodes into bits.
No, well, if
you want the opposite of that,
whichever one is the most painless for the emus, that's what I want. Whether it's the splintering, exploding shells inside the body, if that's going to be painless, more painless, this is my slider of humaneness for guns.
No, I understand what you're saying. You're saying you want to do like basically kill them as quickly as possible so they feel the least amount of pain.
Yeah. So like if I shoot one, it's dead like in the first second, hopefully, not lying on the floor in pain
for an extended period. No,
because that's what I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not trying to torture the emus. We're trying to stop them. Okay. No, I understand.
That's why I wouldn't. I was going to say, would animals be better for this? But then animals will bite and tear, and that's. I'm thinking of like fox hunting. That's painful. That must be horrible.
Nature is heavy metal. They do not.
Yeah, it is. Doesn't mess around, does it?
So you really want to drop white phosphorus on them.
That's bad for the wheat, isn't it?
Oh, it is bad for the wheat. Yeah, you got me there. It's bad for the wheat. Okay. So they had a small group of men, maybe about 4 or 5. They had 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds.
Not enough rounds.
So they had 2 machine guns, 10,000 bullets, and they're like, I think it was 4 guys. They're like, go out and just shoot some emus. Because they're thinking you're going to shoot a couple of emus. They're going to move on. I'm betting the ministry didn't understand the scale of what they were actually talking about. So when these Australian farmers like, oh, that's a lot of emus, mate.
Well done.
I bet they were like, oh, that's an Australian farmer's version of a lot of emus, which could be 3 versus thousands and thousands of emus.
Yeah.
You were talking about the birds running. Do you know how fast an emu can run? Because you said not as fast as Ostrai. How fast do you think emu can run? I want to check because I actually think they run the same speed.
Well, I don't really know how fast an ostrich would run. Maybe is it 30 miles an hour? Is that a cheetah?
Cheetahs are like 50 miles an hour, which are the fastest.
Really?
Yeah, they're the fastest, but it's only for a couple seconds.
I know
So
they're not
Yeah.
marathon runners.
If they run at top speed for an extended period, they die because they overheat.
Do they really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually really sad because you can imagine like they're trying to catch something because they're hungry and then they miss and then they just like die of exhaustion.
That's why you see cheetahs, they're kind of watching their prey and they've got to be really sure about the kill. Because
Yeah.
if it doesn't, well, I don't know. Ostriches, I'm going to guess that maybe like 30 miles an hour.
Oh, you're pretty good. It's 30 to 37 miles per hour with a sprint up to 43 miles per hour. So basically they can run fast and they can have these spurts of 10 miles per hour more. Where this is ostriches. Emus run at 50 miles per hour.
What?
Yeah. So I think emus run faster on level than an ostrich does, probably because they're lighter.
Yeah. Goodness me.
It's fast. So we're talking almost as fast as a cheetah.
Yeah, crikey.
Actually, no. So I gotta look it up. I gotta see how fast a cheetah runs now.
Yeah.
Just so we have our numbers right. Oh my god, 65 to 75 miles per hour. That's that top sprint. So they're running probably in the 30s, 40s, and then they sprint. They can hit 104 to 120 kilometers an hour, which is 75 miles per hour.
Okay, and just while we're talking about it, birds from down under. How many miles an hour do you think a kiwi can run? I've just Googled it.
Kiwis are little turds with legs.
Yeah, those things. Yeah.
Come on. They can top out at 14 kilometers an hour. Miles per hour?
Let's go miles. Yeah, it says 10 to 15 miles.
Humans walk at 7 miles per hour. No, run at 7 miles per hour or something. Oh fuck, I don't remember.
Oh.
Humans were designed to walk, not run. That's interesting.
Well,
how fast? Wait. How fast does a kiwi go?
10 to 15 miles an hour.
Okay, that's running.
That's running, and that's faster than I thought, considering its size and its little legs and its little turd body.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put how fast does a human run? So we're gonna get an average, not like Olympians. 6 to 8 miles per hour.
6 to 8. Okay.
Yeah. So the average, in my head, it was 7 miles per hour is normal. Yeah. Humans were designed to walk, not run. And we walk almost better than almost every other animal on the planet.
We do. Well, we were do they call it endurance hunting? When
yes.
In our primitive days, scariest thing animals could see would be just a bunch of humans in the distance, just tracking them, waiting for them to be worn out.
Get tired and get worn out,
Yeah. Scary. Anyway.
So we're back. So they deployed a couple guys with 2 machine guns and 10,000 rounds. And the birds run at 50 miles per hour and they scatter. So this is the problem. So like when you're talking about shooting them, they can't really aim at one because it's going to move. It's going to scatter. They all run in different directions. So they're not going to be able to just like zombie video game and just do and take them all down.
God, they're fast and wily.
So the first issue is there were 20,000 emu and they only gave them 10,000 bullets.
Oh,
so at best, if they killed one emu with every shot, which is impossible with a machine gun because you're just spraying, they would still only be able to kill half of them. How well do you think they did?
Terribly, I guess, because what a
how many
mess.
Emus? So they had 10,000 rounds. How many emus do you think they killed?
In terms of killing or dispatching, maybe, would that include emus that they, clipped on the foot so it couldn't run, so it was virtually not emuing anymore?
The range is very broad.
Because
what the number they actually give is the result is very broad, but it's still quite low.
Is it? I'm gonna say 100.
Oh, no, they did better than that. They killed 1,000 to 2,500 emus.
That's not many emus.
So I'm betting they shot 1,000 and they were like down on the ground, and then injured another 1,000 that kind of ran off and died later.
That's literally the opposite of what I was aiming for earlier with my humane guns.
In December 1932, the soldiers withdrew and they claimed mission failure.
See you later, mate.
And then as a result, the government just started giving farmers ammunition so they could just shoot them themselves.
Yeah, that makes more sense as and when.
Yeah. It's funny that they lost, but it's sad that you have to like kill a bunch of animals because the emus are just trying to find food. They're just trying to be emus, and they're not trying to hurt anybody.
Time.
Yeah, just trying to be.
anytime animals come into human territory to feed, it's because we've taken up all their land somewhere, isn't it? I think like the bears going to places in Japan, or not just Japan, all like.
Well, no, this has been a huge problem in Japan because
recently
I learned that there's two factors that are causing this, the bears to come into cities and hurt people and stuff, is they eat chestnuts, and the chestnuts, because of climate change, is there's just not enough chestnuts for them to eat. So they have to go to other sources for food. And it used to be city circled by farmland, circled by forest where the bears live. So the bears crossing the farmland was difficult because the hunters would chase them off or shoot them or whatever. That farmland's gone. So now it's just forest city. So they just walked straight into the city when they start looking for food.
That's scary.
And so not having that buffer has actually caused a huge problem in Japan. And now they're talking about like culling the bears, but because of Japan's incredibly good gun control, no one has guns or has grown up with guns. So there aren't as many hunters. So all the hunters are like in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. They're dying off, and there's no one taking over. So they don't have enough hunters anymore.
What's the next best way to kill bears then?
I don't know. Like, I don't have an answer for that. Like, there's no answer. Like, do you have to kill the bears? So we should start integrating them.
And you know,
with society.
If we start doing that, then they'll want bears to get married and no
bear rights. Jesus.
Bear rights, yeah. They'll be adopting kids. God.
It's a slippery slope. One day you're allowing bears to survive, the next day you're marrying bears.
God, fucking liberals. Shit.
That would be great, trying to have the pro bear argument.
Yeah.
And how a slippery slope, what it's going to be. We're going to end up with like bears in our classrooms. Do you want a bear teaching your kids?
Yeah. Do you want to sit next to a bear on a bus?
Oh my God, no.
Do you want to see bears on... I was going to say, do you want to see bears on your grinder?
I know, to be honest. I think that's actually where they belong.
I think you'd be right there, yes.
Enter the mind of the academy. Shock my big chest, where the best is a philosophy. Drinking at lunch brings verbal skills like a sucker punch. Welcome to CM Mock